Game of the year. I think it's pretty obvious. The two big contenders here. It's Stray and Xenoblade. Just kidding. Alright. Obviously it's gonna be either Elden Ring or God of War. I actually thought it was gonna be a much harder choice. But in actual fact, I think it's a much easier choice. And it's definitely Elden Ring. Elden Ring, probably the most fun I had this year. I would play that game non-stop. No matter how many times I died, and there's always something to find out in the world. I think God of War has like less replayability and everything. As a package though, I think God of War is probably the more fine-tuned experience. Okay, best game direction. One thing about Horizon, this series is just cursed, like this franchise. And it's not because it's a bad game. It's actually a really, really good game. It's just the fact that somehow the developers choose really bad release dates. The first game that came out, it released behind Breath of the Wild. And now for the sequel, it released right before Elden Ring. Best game direction, it's either God of War or Elden Ring. I still think Elden Ring takes the cake here. Next one, best narrative. Alright, this one's pretty obvious. It's God of War for sure. I don't think Elden Ring, the narrative is like in your face. It's kind of like you have to dig further into the lore to actually understand a lot more in depth. However, for God of War, although I think it's the best narrative in terms of storytelling, there was one thing that was like missing for me. The one thing that I like about God of War, the 2018 one, was when you were getting the blades and they showed Athena, and in Helheim you saw Zeus. So in some way they were showing respect and like a nod to the previous games. However, in the current one, I felt like they didn't do that. They didn't do that at all. They didn't do it as much as I would have liked them to do. Leading up to getting the Blades of Chaos was so hyped when he finally goes back to the house to get it because Atreus was sick. When you get the next item, alright, I won't spoil it. Okay. I felt like it wasn't as well done as the previous one. Also, I think that like the starting fight with Baldur is just slightly bit better than the fight with Thor at the start. Just my opinion though. Narrative, it's God of War for sure. Best art direction. This one is tricky because I really like Elden Ring. Like Elden Ring is not as like, it doesn't look better than a Demon Souls remake, right? On the PS5. The one that Bluepoint did. God of War as well. It basically looked at like 2018 and it's just a sequel to 2018. It's just more God of War, right? It's not like a huge leap. For me, I think it's probably gonna be Scorn. Like if you look at the art, it's just so unique, right? I mean, cause it's paying homage to one of the artists. I think it's H.R. Geiger. Yeah, it's paying homage to H.R. Geiger and its themes, visual art styles, and I think they did a really good job. Although I didn't like finish this game, from what I've seen and through the trailers before the game came out, I really like it. So I think it's Scorn for sure. Best score in music. If you don't know, all Xenoblade Chronicles games, in my opinion, have really good soundtracks. Metal Hellsinger. I've not played this game, but I've heard it has a banger soundtrack. What do I pick? I actually have no idea what I should pick. This one's probably the hardest category so far. But it's between these three. All Xenoblade Chronicles musics are really good. God of War, Ragnarok, and Elden Ring. How to say, the sound effects, the BGM. It just sets the vibes really, really well, right? Like during intense moments for Elden Ring and for Ragnarok. But I feel like Xenoblade probably has the more balanced one. I feel like if you ask me in a different day, I could give you any one, either God of War or Xenoblade. Like I could literally switch between the two. I'm gonna vote for Xenoblade 3 though. Best audio design. Yeah, okay. So this was the thing. I felt that God of War Ragnarok, the audio design. Okay. Now that it has this category, that means the previous one I actually voted right. Because I feel Elden Ring and Ragnarok, they had really, really good sound design to set up like emotional moments. And just in general, when you're walking around, I think this is God of War Ragnarok for sure. This one is obvious, right? Holy shit, dude! God of War is gonna sweep. I feel like all these categories, God of War is in all of them, and I feel like they all have a good shot to win. All right, so it's probably Kratos, Christopher Judge. Okay, I feel that he doesn't speak as much, but when he speaks with authority, and the lines, some of the lines are fucking bangers, dude. That I remember. I'm a little bit biased because of that, like, of that one incident, like when they go on stage, he and when Christopher and Sunny go on stage, and then he turns to the dude and is like, "Read it, boy."
And the Game Award goes to... Read it, boy.
Chills, bro, chills. Games for impact, for a thought-provoking with a pro-social meaning or message. Alright, I can't vote for this. I haven't played any, what the hell? Not only have I not played any, I didn't hear of any of these games. I'm just gonna skip. I feel unfit to vote for this category. Best ongoing. Genshin Impact. No. The reason why I'm not gonna vote for Genshin is probably because I actually quit Genshin as of the 3.1 update. I felt the Sumeru update was a fucking letdown. As soon as I got Nilo, I quit the game. I think for me, it's between these three, and I'm leaning towards Destiny and Final Fantasy 14. Because whenever I talk to friends who do play this too, they talk highly on how it is. I play Apex, and I felt like Apex, they had problems with ranked at one point, where people were just like camping so they don't die, and then they get enough RP to the next one because it was so punishing for one of the for ranked at one point. I'm not too sure. I think maybe they might have changed it, but I think it was in season 13 where everyone would just camp until they get like above 10 squads remaining, and then they'll pop their Weasley little heads out and actually do something. And I felt the community was actually complaining that it was getting so stale. At the end, it was only like 5 minutes of gameplay, and the rest was just hiding. So I think it's between Destiny and Final Fantasy 14. And I think just on how much like Final Fantasy 14 has grown and how it's always very community driven, I'm probably gonna give it to Final Fantasy 14. Destiny 2 is probably like really, really close though. Best indie. I like Call of the Lamb. It's pretty good. Stray has like a cult-like following of cat lovers. They're probably gonna kill me for not voting in Game of the Year. Sifu's really, really good. Neon White. I'm just gonna give it to Neon White. The reason why Neon White gets my vote is because gameplay wise, visual wise, everything is so unique. Right, Neon. Best mobile game for the best playable on a mobile device. Number 1, fuck Diablo Immortal. It's a pay-to-win mess. Apex Legends Mobile, I haven't had the time to play. I've played Genshin Impact and a bit of Tower of Fantasy. I quit Genshin Impact, but it was a really good mobile experience. In fact, it's probably made for mobile. Marvel Snap. I heard Marvel Snap is really, really good. And also I think one of the producers or creators of Marvel Snap is Ben Brode. But I'm gonna be honest, even as much as I don't like Genshin now, or like I quit Genshin, I gotta say the experience on mobile is really, really good. Performance-wise, everything. They got that shit unlocked. because they want as much people to play this game as possible. Best community support. Alright, this is 14 again. They listen to No Man's Sky. I think it's 14 still because they listen to the community. It's very community driven as well. If it was the vote for like best turnaround, it gets my vote. Actually, I might not even get my vote because 14 turnaround from literally dog shit. They recalled that product and then they did it even way better and then they released it. So yeah, 14 for sure. Innovation and accessibility. Alright, this one is definitely Last of Us or God of War Ragnarok. And I think I'm gonna lean towards The Last of Us. Because from the amount of accessibility that I saw, holy shit, dude. It's a lot. A lot. Best VR, AR. I think it's probably Among Us VR. And that's just based on like watching people. I'm just gonna ignore this because I think it's supposed to be an FPS. Bayonetta, Sifu, or TMNT. This one, since it says focus primarily on the combat, Bayonetta 3 or Sifu. I think I'm gonna give it to Sifu. Yeah, I'm probably gonna give it to Sifu. Action/adventure. Oh, this one, I don't think we even have to discuss this. Combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. There's no competition right here. It's God of War Ragnarok. I'm just voting for it. Role playing. This one's fairly obvious as well. Okay, maybe not as fairly obvious. I just saw the last one, which is Xenoblade. But I can't even say that Xenoblade the Chronicles is the best JRPG because Elden Ring's from Japan as well. Triangle strategy I really like as well. I'm getting into the whole like triangle strategy, Octopath Traveler kind of thing. And I'm excited for Octopath Traveler 2. Elden Ring, 100%. Okay, Elden Ring. Best fighting. Is Sifu really a fighting game? It's a action beat 'em up. Like fighting games, I generally think of like Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, King of Fighters, JoJo Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle, or isn't this like the Battle Royale one? Like even says Battle R, it's a Battle Royale. I'm gonna stick with like the traditional sense of like fighting games. I'm just gonna cancel this since this is a BR and I think this is more like an action game. I think it's probably Multiverses. It's a really good take on the Smash formula. Best family. Alright, you know it's a Nintendo game. In fact, there are 4 Nintendo games right here. Ooh, Star Wars was pretty good though. Splatoon. I've not touched Splatoon since the original Splatoon. Rabbids Spark of Hope, which is just the family game for XCOM, and then Kirby, which is good. So it's either Kirby or Lego Star Wars. Honestly, I thought that I was gonna vote for a Nintendo game because there are 4 Nintendo games here. But this game, if you play it by yourself, it's like -2 points down, right? Yeah, it's just overall, this game is meant to be played with someone else. Next category. Alright, best sim strategy. I'm just gonna vote for Mario Rabbids. Out the door, I'm not voting for FIFA 23 because FIFA 23, they're so like FIFA series in general, they're so lazy, dude. They're so lazy. It's just basically the previous game and they reskin it or like they repackage it for the next year. And in fact, there are like cases where they use the previous, they forget to change the assets from the previous years. Fuck FIFA, dude. Gran Turismo. I think it's a good game. Best multiplayer? Yeah, not Splatoon, not TMNT. I'm sorry, but it's not this too. This one's tough. The thing holding me back from voting for Overwatch 2 is just that watching Overwatch, like, I know it's not multiplayer, but watching Overwatch is so boring, dude. Watching competitive Overwatch is so boring. I think this game as an esports is just dead. Probably Multiverses, I think. Content creator of the year, Ludwig. I really like Mogul Mail. I feel he's a really nice person in general too. Best debut indie? Alright. Debut. Oh shit. I was gonna vote for Neon White, and then I saw Vampire Survivors. You just know I gotta vote for Vampire Survivors. So yeah, I'm just gonna vote for Vampire Survivors. No problem. Dude, this game was super addictive. What the hell? And it was like so cheap as well. Best value for money this year, I think. Best adaptation? Cuphead, no. Sonic. To be honest, I really like the Sonic movie. I know it didn't review that well, but somehow I really enjoyed it. I thought the jokes was good. Uncharted was just a shit show of an adaptation. Somehow physics doesn't work in this in this show, even more so than the game. Cuphead, the game is better. So I think it's Cyberpunk Edge Runners or Arcane. And I think I'm gonna have to vote for Cyberpunk. Just the whole setting, Cyberpunk setting. Don't get me wrong, this is like a really, really close race. Because League of Legends, the thing about League is that they always had like a really, really good setting that was like just prime, like just set up to be a show. But Cyberpunk, dude, the Cyberpunk futuristic setting, the songs, the characters, oh my god, the fact that this show came out and it made people play the game again. They stacked it, right? They came out with a new update, and at the same time they came out with this anime. And to be honest, I kind of had like, I didn't have high expectations for this show because of the game, but after seeing it, I was like, holy shit, this is Studio Trigger at its finest, right? Studio Trigger did such a good job on this show. It brought back people came back, and then it peaked in player counts again. Like, it went up, all right? It fucking stonks, dude, all right? Player count stonks, all right? Cyberpunk for the win. Most anticipated game, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, Legends. Oh shit, they had Zelda here. Fuck. To be honest, I'm not excited for Starfield as much as Zelda and Final Fantasy 16. And then there's Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy 16 trailers got me hyped up, especially the latest one where they just show all the summons just duking it out. I'm just like, oh my god, just give me some more. Then Legend of Zelda, alright. If I'm being honest, Legend of Zelda is probably my most anticipated game next year. However, seeing the Legend of Zelda trailers that Nintendo put out recently, where it was like 10 seconds or even less than that, then it's just a screenshot of the release date. Right? Yeah. The thing about Zelda is that the fact that there was actually a release date, and I don't think Nintendo really delays their game, whereas Square definitely delays their game. Just look at Forspoken. Final Fantasy 16, I'm really, really hyped for it. Legend of Zelda, I'm also really hyped. But I'm hyped for two different reasons, right? Legend of Zelda is the game, and Final Fantasy 16 is just the direction. I feel like they're going back to the original Final Fantasy 16, and also the combat. They hired the DMC combat director for this game, and the combat in this game from the trailers looks super hype. So I'm not too sure, because in terms of like when I watch a trailer, I feel like I'm most excited when watching the trailers, both trailers. I feel like I got more excited for 16. But if I'm being honest, I feel as a whole, even though the Zelda trailer didn't hype me up, I feel I'm most excited for that. So I'm just gonna vote for Zelda. Fuck it. Best esports game, Dota 2, because I only play Dota 2, because I play Dota 2. Best esports athlete. I mean, come on, there's only one answer. Even though I played League a long time ago, Faker, SKT1, even now, like you can't not hear of Faker, dude. All right, yeah, Faker. And seeing some of the clips of Faker where he's like, he tabs out, he hears something, then tabs back in, and then just dodge the thing real quick and then tabs back out. It's like, yo, what the fuck is even going on? This guy's a robot. Best esports team: Dark Zero, FaZe Clan, Gen G, LA Thieves, and Loud. I'm just gonna go for FaZe Clan, I guess. Best esports coach. Alright, I don't know any of these, so I feel like I'm unfit. Next category. Best esports event. What the fuck? There's no international? I feel this one has Evo because the FGC community is so tight knit that Evo just feels like a celebration every single year. It's Evo 100%. I'm not that into fighting games, but the FGC just seems like the most wholesome community. I can't wait to see how many I got correct. I feel like I'll at least get more than half right. Maybe.